Don't spend hours training and deploying YOLO when you could annotate, train, and deploy in just minutes. I'll walk you through step by step how to get started using your own custom dataset. Now, to get started, what we're going to use is the Ultralytics platform. I'll leave some links down in the video description. When you sign up with my referral code, you also get $30 of credit. But I've already went ahead and done some of the training, but I'll walk you through step by step how to actually get started. So first thing you want to do is come over here to Annotate. So this Annotate means that you want to drop in your data set. So it could be a video of someone playing tennis, for example, and then you could upload it, and then it's going to truncate your video into images. And then from there, you could start labeling. So here you can see this is a sample video that I'm going to be using as my data set. And one thing to note is that the way it truncates, the longer a video, the more frames it will get. So you could choose how long of a video depending on how much data you want. So you can see right here, there's this box here that allows you to drop in. So I'm going to come here to my other window and drag and drop my file. So by default, it's going to have some dataset name here. You could rename it, choose your visibility. I'm going to choose private. And all you need to do is just click on create and upload and just wait for this transferring process to finish. This will go ahead and bring all of your photos, chop it up, and then you can start your annotation process. So you can see here, this is all of the photos that it gathered, and it got a total of, you can see 73 images. So the way to get started is you can click on one of the image, and then you can see we have this cursor here. So based on this, you can also use your right and left key to toggle between the frames. So for example, here you can see there's a ball here. So there's two options to annotate your images. You can see right here, we're in the draw mode. There's also a smart mode that will use SAM to help you auto detect it. So I'll show you both options. So with the draw mode, what happens here is you have your cursor, you could left click, drag, and then let go. This will signal a class 0 here. And if you come up here, you could rename your class. So I could edit my class 0 here. So there's this little pen icon, and then you could go ahead and type in ball and hit enter. So you can see now we have a ball labeled here. So if I click on my arrows here, I'll just choose some frame that's easy to see. Let's see. So like, for example, this one right here, if we want to use a smart tool, so if you click on it, there's a few different options. So they have by default the SAM 3, you have the SAM 2.1 tiny, small, base, and large. I'll just choose the default SAM 3 here. And what you can do is just go ahead and click on the object. It's going to load. You might have to wait a little bit, but once it's done loading, it should be able to identify the object for you. And you can also do single click, multi-click, depending on the complexity of the object. But since this ball is really small, we're just going to do one click. And you can see here we have our ball labeled. So you want to go through the process and annotate all your images. So just go through all the images and repeat the same process I showed you. But here we have already one that's all labeled that I did previously. So what you can do now is come up here to new model. So this will allow you to create a model based off of the data set that you created. So you could choose different base models here. We have the YOLO 26. There's different sizes you could choose from. There's the N, S, M, L, and X. Choose the one that's right for you. And then once you do that, you should choose the data set. So the data set right now, we've already predefined as the Brave links here. So because we came from that data set, it by default chooses it. And right here, you could set the number of epochs, batch size, image size. You can also have a name for your run. Then once you do that, you could come down here and click Start Training, which I'm blocking. So you can see right here, there's a button here that says Start Training. So just click on that and it will start the training process for you. So once you're done training, you can see right here under Train on the left, we have our amazing panda. And you can see the runs we did is EXP8 and EXP7. So if I move a little bit over, so you can see these are the graphs here. We have our metrics, the precision, the recall, the MAP50, and the loss. So obviously for my limited data set, we're not going to see a very high MAP 50-95. You probably want to add more data sets to allow this to reach higher, but this will be good enough for our demo purposes. So you could see here, I've done different runs. You could compare and evaluate which one is better. You could click into each one too to see some of the different performances that I did and some of the training settings that was chosen. So this is a good reference point to see what happened during your training. But if I come back, you can also go ahead and choose the model that you want. So you can see right here, if I hover over this down arrow icon, and if you click on that, then it's going to prompt you to download your model, and you could save it and run it locally, which we'll show you how to do in just a little bit. But there's also another option, is the deploy option. So you can see right here, if you click on deploy, you could choose a location you want to deploy your model, and you could monitor your model based on where you deploy it and do continuous improvement to use YOLO Ultralytics platform to monitor and gradually improve your model, and also see some of the performance metrics that it captures. So I did some run previously with a different model, but just to show you how it looks like. The things that I could capture are things like the total requests, you have your active deployment, you have your error rates, latency. So it's really great. You would just use the endpoints that it provides, and this will allow you to call the models and do some of these analytics on the back end. Okay, so to actually run your code, what I have here is a pretty simple file. So I've imported my things up on top. I've defined my video file, model, and output file. As I mentioned previously, I'm using the exp-8 model. And what we want to do here is first call the YOLO function to call the model using your model file. We're going to use OpenCV to do some of the video capture, set up some of the width and heights. And then here in our main while loop, this is where we're going to be plotting the actual frames of the ball. And then we're going to write it to an output file, which right here we're calling the output.mp4. So we could go ahead and run this file and see how it looks like. So you can see this is the video that I recorded here, and you can see right here we have the ball that's tracking in green, and you can see it's doing a pretty good job of tracking the ball for the most part, considering how many images that we use for training, which is only 73 images. So considering how little of a data set we use, I would say this performance is pretty good. But this is the very first part of doing the 3D ball tracking, is to first figure out the location of the ball in 2D space. And then later on, you would need to do what I described previously, using the depth map to capture the 3D location. But at least here you can see the YOLO part working, so this will be the first and essential step of replacing mocap in your system. I did a video recently on a reinforcement learning on hardware showing sim-to-real deployment, and if you want to see more behind-the-scene videos, you could come here to my channel. So you could see here I have a lot of members videos channel where I do deep dives on how I actually implement the projects. So there's also lots of other resources you could check out. And lastly, if you're new here, my name is Kevin. I've been doing robotics and AI for 10 plus years, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, and see you next time.